Scotland training at the Royal Grammar School in Newcastle, 24 hours out from a match which, should they win, will take the team to the quarter-finals of the 2015 Rugby World Cup.
I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away, so I've been telling old stories and singing songs that make me think about where I came from.
They face tough opponents in Samoa, who, while already out of the tournament, will want to leave with their pride intact.
Today. And let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
Finn Russell returns at standoff, while Mark Bennett resumes his partnership with Matt Scott. For the Glasgow Centre, the match is a massive one.
Oh, it's the biggest game I've played in by far. It's a huge opportunity for it to make the quarter-finals, but it's a big game that's needed to get us there, so I'm really looking forward to it.
I guess the emphasis this week has been on what you guys need to do rather than the opposition. There's been a lot of talk about what kind of Samoa will turn up. You've got to put that to the back of your mind.
Yeah, we know what we need to do. We need to go out and look after the ball, play some good attacking rugby like we've tried to, but the main thing is just keep the ball and try and frustrate them as much as we can.
There's been a little bit of chat about Scotland starting slowly, but what you've done, and you've finished the games extremely well. That sense that your fitness is good and that you come late, how useful is it to have that in the back of your mind as well?
Yeah, it is. It's nice knowing that we'll finish really strongly, so if things aren't quite going to plan at the start, then there's no need to worry. We've shown in the first two games that we have got a good second half in us, and again against South Africa we performed better in the second half, so we know we've got that in the locker, but hopefully we'll see 80 minutes this weekend.
What do you think's been important in the build-up for Scotland ever since the camp in Fonremo and you know the time the warm-up games in Scotland? What's been important for the squad coming through all that?
I think just the togetherness. We've been through some tough times, but everyone's stuck together, and it's not as if there's anyone who breaks away from the group. It's a case of we're all as one, and it's a case of working together to get the best out of each other. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing for us.
Defensively, how big a game will it be tomorrow? Because if they decide to play a little bit looser and throw the ball around, what's key for Scotland defensively?
I think they're a real talented side, and they've got some players who, if we give them space and time, they'll cause us some real damage. They've got Tim Nanai-Williams playing at fullback, who's been outstanding. So we know that we need to try and shut them off and just put as much pressure on them when they do have the ball, get up in their face and don't give them that space and time to run at us, because if they do, they're going to be hard to stop.
In terms of the set piece as well, for Scotland, how important a part of the game will that be, given that good, could give you good ball and then good go forward?
Yeah, I think the set piece is always critical. If you can get dominance in the set piece, you're going to be on the front foot from the word go. If we can, it's a good time for us to just look after the ball and put them under a little bit of pressure and try and frustrate them, like I said earlier on. The longer we can keep the ball, the harder it'll be for them.
You talk about systems for Scotland, and it's important that Scotland play in the way that you do, and that you all play to a game plan. When it comes to like the try against Japan, where you're operating in traffic, how much of that is instinctive?
Yeah, I think most. I mean, you know that you've got the guys around you, but if there's space in front of you, you've got to take it. And that's something that Vern said to us from the word go, is if there's space, let's go for it. And it's a good way to play.
It was a good atmosphere last week. You would expect that it'll be an even better one from a Scottish point of view. What does that do to the players mentally when they're on the park and they can hear that support?
Oh, it's awesome, especially if you do something good, get a huge roar behind you. It does drive you on and just picks you up a little bit. There's times when something will happen, you're absolutely knackered, but you hear that big roar and it just gives you a little pick-me-up, and It'll be great if we get a big Scottish crowd there tomorrow.
You guys will be desperate to make the trip south to the quarter-finals. It'll be an emotional, exciting place to be at the start of the game. How do you just ensure that the mind is focused on the job that you've got to do?
I guess it's just trying to stay in the moment as much as you can, knowing that if we do everything that we need to do, it'll come eventually and we can enjoy it after the game. But when we're in the battle, we need to just try and keep emotions out of it as much as we can and play what's in front of us.
How much have you enjoyed the World Cup so far?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's something that I've watched for years as a kid, and finally being here and playing in it, it's quite surreal. Actually, I was listening to Gordy on the phone to one of his friends the other night. I had him on speakerphone, and his mate kept saying to him, "You've just played in the World Cup," and it's one of these things that you don't think about until someone else says to you. I mean, it's just trying to keep your routine the same and take it just as another game.
It's amazing because you must have that kind of great feeling of, I'm playing in a World Cup. This is the pinnacle of rugby. But you've also, I suppose, you've got a responsibility as well, because it's a Scotland team. You've got a lot of fans as well, so that it must hold that in check, that excitement a wee bit, knowing that you've got a whole nation watching.
Yeah, I mean it's huge for us as players, and I know it's just as big for the nation as supporters. So we've got a huge responsibility, but that's something that comes as part of the game, and it's about playing what's in front of us, as I've said, and we just need to focus on that as much as we can, and hopefully we can celebrate after.
Fullback Stuart Hogg facing the press earlier today, and he believes the Scots' preparation has given them every chance of securing a victory.
It's been really good. Boys are massively excited for the challenge ahead. We had a couple of good wins early doors and a minor blip last week, but a chance to qualify into the quarter-finals. The boys are very much looking forward to the challenge and hopefully getting that all-important win.
There's been a lot of momentum built up, 2 really good wins to start the campaign. As you say, a minor blip last week, but a huge opportunity tomorrow.
Yeah, we've targeted getting to the quarterfinals from the very first day of pre-season, and it's fantastic. We've got an opportunity to do that, but we're taking nothing for granted. We know exactly what Samoa are going to bring at us tomorrow, and we've got our game plan ready to go. We've had a good week's training, boys are on form, and excited and ready to go.
As you say, months of hard work's gone into this, all for this one game to then progress, hopefully, to the quarterfinals. Is there a lot of focus within the camp?
Yeah, everybody is purely focused on tomorrow. We've got a job to do, and as I say, we've worked incredibly hard to get to where we are. So, yeah, we're just hopefully we put all our practice into play tomorrow, and get that all-important win for us.
How did you find the atmosphere at St James's Park last weekend? Because there's going to be even more Scottish supporters there tomorrow.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Obviously, we're just over the hill for Scotland, and it's great that we've had so much support, and it's very much appreciated. But hopefully, we can get that win tomorrow, not only for ourselves, but for the country as well.